been kidnapped by ninjas. Are you a bad enough dude to rescue the internet? Find out in about 5 seconds or so. If this broadcast yet again just cuts out of nowhere, hopefully so, because the internet has indeed been kidnapped by ninjas. No, I'm not talking about net neutrality, though that is kind of a thing. And this was my ISP being jerks even before that, and God it only knows. How dare you, Blue Ghost? Only knows how bad it will be now, but that's neither here nor there. Any second now, it'll probably disappear. If so, then just be forewarned. Something or other com is a bunch of fascists. And there might be Hitler. I can't confirm that, but I have my suspicions, and they're not unfounded, okay? Well, it hasn't been... run away, Pac-Man! It hasn't ended yet. That's... Oh, no! Rookie... Oh. Rookie mistake. Well, it hasn't exploded yet. And I think this is the longest it's gone so far. Get them dots, Pac-Man. Maybe I can... Oh! What up, professional? Oh, by the way, spoiler alert, Last Jedi, you can't see it, but I'm motioning, like, doing the little, like, thumbs up, thumbs down thing. Not as in mediocre, which would be worse. I much prefer this. It alternates between great and, which, as I said, I much prefer to just, consistently mediocre. Pros, Luke Skywalker, who I previously, I don't know if I'd say I hated him, but I strongly disliked him as a character, and he was just kind of dumb and annoying. And I was hoping that Darth Vader would chop him in half. I mean, I guess technically he did, not equal halves, but he did chop off his hand. And at that point, his body was technically in 2 pieces, separate. So, strictly speaking, or not quite so strictly speaking, you could say that's sort of chopping in half. Not like 0.5 and 0.5, like 0.95, 0.05, whatever amount of your body mass hand is, but that's not the point. And this movie, not just the movie, I mean, like his first 3 lines, all of which I believe are the same statement, which is part of why I liked it so much. To immediately change that, and I love him. Oh, did you see that? That was awesome. I'm a freaking professional Pac-Man. Not Pac-Man player. I am a Pac-Man. I mean, think about it. Have you ever seen me and Pac-Man in the same place at the same time? Exactly. Just like Chris Brown and Jason Derulo and Trey Songz, they're all the same person. At least one of them is sending his ninja rapper assassins out to get me because I called him out on Twitter. Because in one of his songs, he claimed to have invented sex, which is just a weird claim. I mean, I get it. You could say, like, I perfected it, or I am good at it, or, that's pretty standard fare. I mean, it's kind of crass, but it's at least a comprehensible boast, if not, yeah. But no, to claim to have invented it, that's not, that this, like, okay, so there's some kind of bizarre biologist, and you just were like, alright, this is how human reproduction will work. Let me get some beakers and vials in my white lab coat, because that's how science works. Oh, we're playing the movie! That was kind of a side note. But yeah, and I called him out on Twitter, and he actually retweeted me, and he didn't LOL, but he, like, thumbs up, or starred, or favorited, whatever, my tweet, and the follow-up tweet about my wondering if he was going to send, oh, tangerine, dream, something. Ah! Bro, orange, whatever. Why gotta, like, be... Hey, is this still going? I mean, I'm still going, but that doesn't really ever change. I'm just always... Even when I'm not... That's why I started streaming for what it is, if you can call it that, because either way, I will just sit here and mumble to myself. And I figured I might as well entertain those unknown 2 subscribers I have. Thank you, by the way. Would estimate there's a 99% chance that at least 2 of you are, like, my mom who found out about my... I can't even call it a channel. The account. And subscribe to make me feel slightly good about myself, maybe. Either way, shout out to you. Whoa, shout out to you. To be honest, I kind of had to question your taste. There's far better things out there in the YouTubes, to say the least. But, you know, much appreciated. Well, I mean, not much appreciated. It's not that hard. You can just click the little subscribe button. But I mean, you know, appreciate it. I mean, because, you know, you could have not. That would have been very slightly easier, but you did. And, you know, it slightly was like, oh, look, there's more than one person, and only more than one person, even though they're probably both mom or whatever, who may or may not be slightly amused by my nonsense, aside from myself. So, yeah, there's that. So... yeah, rock and roll. Party on, man. That was a terrible way to end your life, Pac-Man. Don't waste your life. Is the thing still going? I don't know. I'm too Pac-Manning. So back to The Last Jedi. Yeah, I had alternate between awesome and many, if not all of the things were at least tangentially related to the fact that, spoiler alert, frickin' cinnamon bun head. Actually, that's short for a stormtrooper. Excuse me, princess. Carrie Fisher, who is dead, isn't dead in the movie. Still, like, if there was ever a time, which there has always been a time, about 5 seconds after she was introduced, I mean, like, if Luke had just walked over and been like, yeah, hey, guess what? Here. Just, you know, yeah, that's, how you like the rifle butt of an E11 blaster thing cracking you in the jaw? You like that? No, you don't. Don't mouth off at your captors when you're a freaking prisoner of war, princess. Oh, no backtalk this time? Okay. That would have been a perfect end. But no. Somehow she's still around, despite being dead IRL. And, like, infinity perfect opportunities, not just opportunities, like this has to happen without the intervention of some, as much as I hate to say it, because this is overused just so people can say it so they sound smart. Said the pod, because, you know, I mean, that is basically my whole thing. But still, the Deus Ex Machina thing, and even by Star Wars standards, was unprecedented, I think. I lost count of how many times it was just like, oh, it's absolutely hopeless. I got to where it'd be like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Suddenly, oh wait, we forgot. It's not. Everybody's okay. Yay! Well done, writers. Well done. And sadly, which I would be perfectly okay with if it involved the ideally horrific death of stupid princess. But no. In fact, most, if not all of them, involved her finding ways out of certain, but not really, death. Because reasons. I'm sure Lucas had something to do with it. Maybe he should have brought Greedo back so that he could shoot her. Yeah, it's still a thing. Though it does, a definite thumbs up, pro, whatever goes for having, I would hesitate to say tied, because that's might be heresy, but up there, right up there with the Duel of the Fates, you know. You know, Darth Maul and useless Obi-Wan Kenobi and Liam Neeson. The boss in this lightsaber fight scene ever. I won't spoil that, or maybe I will. Spoiler alert. Though we all, at least at one point, thought this was one of the many, many, many possibilities. All of them contradictory, so, you know, throw enough darts at the dart board and eventually you'll hurt somebody, as the saying goes. Sure. Spoiler alert, for real. When, at least temporarily, Mary Sue and the father issues, what's his name? Spoiler alert, teamed up. And by teamed up, I mean father issues ran for all of his stuff. Oh, he might be my new favorite character, aside from Luke, spoiler alert, now that he's not around anymore. What a shock. Though the way that he went out was, well, the lead up was awesome, and then, like, oh, that was it? That wasn't, I mean, absolutely unnecessary. I guess it's like a reverse Deus Ex Machina, Deus in Machina. It was bad writing. It was, hey, it's Friday afternoon. We're you know, we're tired. We want to go home. We gotta end this movie. But this plot line is awesome. But for some reason, we are compelled, probably by George Lucas, to throw in an unnecessary complication and ruin it. So whatever you call that, if there's a term for that, let me know. Leave a comment below if you know the vocabulary term of the day. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, retweet, heart, thumbs up, Facebook like, be our friend on MySpace and Bebo and LiveJournal and Instagram and Skype. And no, don't do any of those things. I mean, you can, but it'll be a waste of your time for many reasons. Some obvious, some not as obvious, but yeah. something. What? Yeah, Luke, spoiler alert, Luke just knocks it out of the park. Kind of like the thing with Vader at the end of Rogue One, which was just, aside from the fact that they finally acknowledged, yes, the rebels are just straight up freaking terrorists. Other than that, and the couple of times where vaguely South American or something, and or just completely drop the mic on, well, the other random Mary Sue. I know this racist called the fire brigade or whatever, but not on me, on the freaking people making it. Is the thing still going? Maybe the internet fixed itself just in time for the net neutrality thing. And something. And yeah. Spoiler alert. Luke is awesome, and then we were like, that was awesome. And just kind of some pause, like, that was a perfect finale. Suddenly, Luke just kind of like, I'm dead now. Like, huh? For literally no reason. And that part of the awesomeness of what should have been the finale was that he didn't get killed in the who could have seen this coming showdown between him and Kylo Ren. In fact, he beat the shit out of him. And it was incredible. Oh, hey. How's it going, my man? Yeah, that's right. Pac-Man. Getting them dots. And discussing spoiler alerts for The Last Jedi. I will refrain from spoiler. Would you like spoiler alerts or spoilers? Can you communicate with me? You know what? I'll just be a nice guy and not spoil it. Overall, I would give it an you can't see it, but I'm making that little motion like where I'm doing a thumbs up, thumbs down, kind of alternating. Not in that it was mediocre. Oh, come here, you ghost. Yeah, you blue now. I'm about to eat your ass. What up? Oh. Yeah, you afraid of... Mr. Orange guy. Oh. That did not count. You can't see it, but I'm pointing at the screen, like, accusingly. Like, objection, Phoenix, right? That did not count, okay? My control is broken. Something about Star Wars. Ghost, come here. Speaking of ghosts in Star Wars, yeah, out of nowhere, very literally, suddenly, freaking the goblin Yoda just appears out of nowhere, just like, oh, you're here. We're entirely thrilled. No, we're not being sarcastic. And, I mean, he's like a ghost or whatever. Okay, sure, they can do that. But then things take an odd turn when he proceeds to just, like, go freaking mighty Thor and summon, like, the freaking Hurricane Katrina and sends, like, the bolt of lightning from heaven to blow up Luke's little ramshackle hut thing, just to, like, make a point, which is kind of a dick move if you ask me, but, you know, maybe I'm just weird about arson, though I must say he did it in style, well, with the Thor thing, but, and, like, that happened about 3 seconds later, just, he's gone. Absolutely no explanation. Or like, bruh, was that really necessary? Also, when did you become Thor? Just, sure. And, spoiler alert, despite, and I'm almost impressed, though enraged, but like, I gotta hand it to him. Despite Carrie Fisher being dead IRL, they still didn't kill freaking Princess. Aren't you showing for a stormtrooper? Which, you know, a good time to kill her off would have been really any, 10 seconds after she was introduced to the original film. That's just my opinion. But once the actress has been dead for a while, and she's still doing absolutely nothing except being an annoying woman, that would seem a convenient time to be like, yeah, maybe we should just kind of off this character finally. Nope. I mean, yes, it would, but that they didn't seem to think so. Maybe, and I'm 100,000% sure it had something, and by something I mean everything, to do with Mr. George Lucas. Maybe he should have called Greedo to come and shoot her first. Who knows? We'll never know. Or maybe we will. Maybe in 20 years, hopefully he won't still be alive. Yeah, I'm a horrible person. And he won't be able to do anything because, not alive. Kind of a barrier. He'll make the remastered thing, and maybe Greedo will shoot Leia, which I would be wholly in favor of. Oh, get eaten, ghosts! Get wrecked! Also, probably the greatest part of the movie, at which point the entire theater just broke out in cheers. Not Cheers, the sitcom, though that'd be cool too. After having whatever those freaking monkey machines that are the worst vehicle. Professional Pac-Man, MLG, 360 no scope. Yeah, after having like a dozen or so AT-ATs, those little walkie things, just shoot the crap out of him for like 10 minutes nonstop, literally, as he's just standing there. Luke, one of the many reasons I've determined him to be awesome now. Like, classic, like, the smoke parts. And he's just standing there like, what up? Which would be cool enough in and of itself, but if a little, they've done that before. But the absolute just perfect, like, yes, was, I swear to God, he just kind of stands there just like staring, and then casually, oh so casually, just kind of like looks over, or no, he doesn't look over, because that would be less cool. When you act like it ain't even no thing. That's the whole point. But casually, oh so casually, reaches over and like brushes his shoulder off and just like looks at him like, what up? And it was just awesome. And someone in the theater may or may not have very loudly proclaimed, "No, if you're feeling like a pimp, go on, brush your shoulders off." And it was absolutely me. And yes, I'm aging myself. I'm old like that. Whatever. And it was just fantastic. But then suddenly, oh, hey, Luke's dead. For no reason. Leia's still alive. Thank God. Oh, wait, no. I'm bothered with Leia's existence, if you hadn't noticed. As any sane person should be, because, seriously, shut up. And die. Not necessarily in that order. Just get them both done. But no. Despite, and this is the, flip side to Luke's apparently feeling like a pimp, and who wouldn't after being shot by a billion AT-ATs for like 10 minutes and emerging utterly unscathed and unbothered. Apparently feeling like a pimp, and rightly so, so he thus brushed his shoulder off. The flip side to that awesomest of moments was when... Oh, and this made father issues, Wherein, this alone, I'll tolerate him at least now. He actually did try to kill Leia. And in a vaguely sane world, even, sci-fi, fantasy, lightsabers, magic, space wizards, even in that rather removed from real life kind of environment, even by that logic, he blew up the second to last ship in the Rebel, quote, fleet, which was like 4 ships to begin with, and they finally have whittled it down to 0, as a direct result of the brilliant tactical planning of guess who? You guessed it. Frickin' Princess Leia. God. Where was I? Oh yeah! Kylo Ren redeemed himself by attempting to murder his mother. Yeah, that's horrible. Or it would be. We're not frickin' Leia horrible. So it's totally cool, because seriously, die already. Please. Please. And yeah, so he launched the proton, photon, space torpedoes, lightsaber bombs. Actually, that'd be pretty awesome. Not just her ship, like specifically somehow locked on to her precise position, which is pretty cold, but whatever. And it was like, yeah, launch them torpedoes. What up? And, blew up the whole big old ship. Tens, hundreds of thousands of people died horribly, but a price, by no means too steep if it kills off Leia at last. And that is, someone may or may not have, again, rather loudly at this, by apparently some very, very confused people's reckoning, quote, sad plot development. I know, boggers the mind, which isn't a word, which is proof that my mind was something, because I'm making up words. Some people apparently very confused found that, unpleasant. At least one person, I'll give you one guess who it was, in the theater, did not. Quite the opposite. They very loudly cheered when this happened, and may have gotten a few less than complimentary looks from the people around him, for which he cared precisely nothing. And it was me, because finally, frickin' Leia was dead. Suddenly... Oh wait, no! We forgot to mention, I could not make this up. Apparently, Leia, by just, uh, I mean, plot armor, but, whatever. Magic, the power of friendship. Pick one. I don't know. Apparently has the magical ability, and of course this is not even remotely explained or even remarked on, like, hey, that was kind of a thing by anyone. Just like, yeah, sure. Apparently can somehow survive being in a giant spaceship when it is exploded into nothing. Impressive. But that's not all. Can then endure the hard vacuum of space for a few minutes at least, and then, again, casually, oh so casually, just sort of, like, wake up, like, I'm fine. Completely unscathed. Like, not even her clothes were singed. Because, she's a princess. We can't have that crap. And floating in the space in the, little tiny pieces of debris left of the ship that she was on, and coated in ice, because space, it's a little chilly, just kind of, like, wakes up and just like, I'm still here, and proceeds to basically, like, Superman style fly across space to the other rebel ship, and I guess he just, like, climbed in the window, or that's the least of the questions here, and just like, hey guys, I'm back. And nobody was like, really? Could you elaborate? Because that's, I mean, unlikely, I'd say. Also, when did you learn to fly? I mean, maybe that's not technically flying because zero gravity. Not the point. When did you learn to survive massive explosions? And, being in space without oxygen and other fairly important things. Nope, none of that. Just, sure. Welcome back. Not the direction I would have gone. But, hey, no one asked me. And, I mean, that's what's wrong with the world. No one asked me. If they asked me, I can guarantee you, the world would not be a better place by any stretch of the imagination, but it would at least be interesting. Which, I don't know. There's that. Did I mention that Leia still hasn't been killed off? Because, yeah, it's true. And I'm bothered by it. But, overall, pretty good. It just, get the abridged version and ignore all the lame scenes. And feel free to insert your own, a la Lucas, scene somewhere, ideally at the, like, even before the opening credits, or, the flying space text where it's like, Star Wars episode 300 billion. For some frickin' reason, frickin' Leia's still alive. What's up with that? She's Superman. Or woman. Whatever. Deal with it. Greedo shot first. It is a time of turmoil in the galaxy. There are wars and stars. Get it? Ha! Something, something, dot, dot, dot. Segue to spaceships and stuff. That would be a great time to have Leia explode, or be eaten by a dinosaur, or both, or be, catch on fire and then be eaten by a dinosaur, because dinosaurs like grilled food, or be eaten by a dinosaur and then catch on fire, which would probably give the dinosaur indigestion, and seeing as he performed such a, wonderful help to society by eating Leia, he doesn't deserve that. Maybe the dinosaur catches on fire, just because the universe is acknowledging his feat of heroism by making him just randomly catch on fire. But he's cool with it, he's Goku going Super Saiyan. Dude, a Super Saiyan dinosaur. Yes, I have the mind of a 12-year-old, basically, but hey, that's some good ideas, sorta, maybe. They at least know enough not to kill stupid freaking Princess Leia, probably, maybe. So yeah. Also, whoever the Jiggy guy that the other day had that little teaser thing about and we might see a brand new lightsaber color in The Last Jedi, which really isn't that big a deal, except that it is. I mean, it's not, but it's neat. And everybody's like, oh, is it going to be a black lightsaber? Because for some reason that is cool. You know it is. It makes no sense, but that's half the fun. And it's not like it would be the only thing that didn't make any sense in Star Wars, and it would be cool. So there you go. Or maybe it'll be white, which is racist and boring. Or maybe somebody will have one of those cool gold ones from back in the day, or chartreuse. I don't even know what that is. Or lilac. That would not be the best decision. That'd be kind of lame. I would definitely go with, black, because that's cool. And I'm not racist. But, alas, that was a lie. Well, it wasn't technically a lie, because he said, we might. And he's just a jerk, because we didn't. And it's not that big a deal, but come on, we could be a jerk like that. It would have been cool. But no. Especially if said special, cool, hopefully black lightsaber had been used to, say, just off the top of my head, chop Princess Leia's head off. And then feed her to a dinosaur. Not necessarily in that order, actually. And then catch on fire. Maybe the lightsaber would catch on fire. Well, a lightsaber is, by definition, sort of a big stick of fire, basically. I mean, I'm not like a scientist. I don't know how magnets work, but close enough, okay? It's a thing, the big stick of hotness. That's fire in my book, okay? Whatever. I have a weird book. Don't judge me. Something. But no, none of those things happened. And that guy was a not technical liar, but he was a jerk. And I'm slightly annoyed that we didn't get to see a cool black lightsaber or something, but whatever. Especially if it had been applied to Princess Leia in any way. At the very least, they didn't pull the, like, oh, suddenly Princess Leia's the super master Jedi and she's gonna fight everyone. Because I might just have to jump off a friggin' cliff if that happened. Not really, but that would be an overreaction. But I would just, like, face palm and sigh deeply to such a degree that I could cause serious health problems to myself inadvertently. So there's that. Be thankful for the little things. And what else? Unfortunately, Mary Sue, random white woman, is still trying to be a relevant character. That would be, whatever her name is, Ray, which is a boy's name. She is kind of hot, but that's not the point. She's boring and stupid. And I love that is apparently Disney's way of, like, hey, we're gonna be all progressive and inclusive and stuff, and, not, like, racist and weird and all. And by introducing an actually pretty likable and interesting black guy at the beginning of Force Awakens, and promptly just totally sidelining him about 5 minutes into the movie in favor of a stock, absolutely just robot, zero personality, random white woman. Who is, if you notice, well, I think their first meeting involves her beating him with a stick and accusing him of stealing. Well done, Disney. And most of their other interactions involve something about her, at the very least, ordering him around, like, like, as if he's some kind of indentured laborer, if you know what I mean. Slavery. Yeah. And also, I just couldn't help but notice that every time there was some sort of seating or situation where people are existing in time, space, and those relative areas, he always ended up in the back of whatever facility. Like, because the black man has to sit in the back of the bus, or the Millennium Falcon. Same thing. Yeah. Good job, Disney. You're not racist. Or are you? Who knows? I do. Yes, they are. We should sue them. I'm offended because I'm black. You know that? I am. What? I don't sound black? That's racist. What are you saying? That black people sound black? Because that's absolutely true. They do. Not in a bad way. There's something about that's genetics. It's like their voice has a certain timbre to it. They have like a, kind of like baritone, stentorian thing. It's actually, I was about to say pleasant, but I realized in time that would be thoroughly gay. But then I just confessed to it, so weird. Anyway, the point is, yeah, black people do, by and large, sound similar, but not in a bad way. And if it's not bad, it doesn't count. It's not racist. Alright? So there you go. You are just learning so much about the world from me. I mean, I am a freaking Confucius over here. Sun Tzu or something. I need to write me a book. It'll be called 300,000 Reasons Why Princess Leia Should Be Killed as Soon as Possible. Reason 1. Duh. Reason 2. Seriously. Reason 3. No, like, seriously. Reason. Yeah. That would be the whole book. I think it'd be a good book. But consider the source. Oh, Pac-Man, what are you doing? Eat the blue ghosts! See, that's racism. I think Pac-Man is a big, you know, they say Shadow of Mordor is a whole, you know, it's all a secret, like, Freudian thing about slavery. Which it... isn't, to say the least. And the fact that they apparently equate orcs to black people seems maybe a little racist on their part to me, but hey, whatever, you know, I mean, what do I know? A lot. Something. What? Racism, Princess Leia should die, I'm a genius, can write a book, eat the ghost. Oh, yeah, metaphor, yeah. I said the Shadow of Mordor is a big, like, Freudian allegory for slavery, and that orcs represent black people, which is pretty dang racist, because they're, you know, monsters, not the black people, the orcs. And so, you know, no, I think Pac-Man is really a big secret Illuminati racist thing, because think about it. See, Pac-Man, the white man, the yellow man, he's the, of all the people on screen, he's the, you know, lightest skin, so he's the white guy. Well, okay, there's the pink ghost. He doesn't count, because he doesn't support my argument. See, he eats up all the dots. What are the dots? Opportunities, money, comfort in his own skin, dignity. Yeah, I could go on. And I'm pretty sure you're screaming futilely at your TV screen, begging me not to, so I won't. But I could. So yeah, that's Pac-Man. You can see he's gobbling them all up before the ghosts can get them. And then when he eats an extra big thing, and he gets like a mega dose of power and fascism and opportunities and unfairness and freaking Jim Crow, all that stuff. Then suddenly, when he's at the height of his power and the ghosts are powerless, then he strikes and just eats them all up. He goes from eating all of their dreams to eating them. Boom. Your mind is now blown. You will never look at Pac-Man the same way again. Dang it. Stupid ghost. Always causing trouble and being annoying. Maybe they are supposed to represent black people. Just kidding, just kidding. Come on, I mean, somebody had to say it, and I'm the only person talking. Also, probably the only person here, because I would be shocked if the one viewer, didn't leave 10 seconds after joining. And it only took 10 seconds because they couldn't find the get the heck out of here button fast enough. Right. Wait a second. As far as I know, the thingy is still broadcasting, which makes me feel kind of bad for the world and that one guy, but maybe my freaking fascist ISP. Well, no, they're still freaking fascist, but maybe I outsmarted them by internet magic, Hagzors. Not really. I just switched to the different connection thingy, but it's more fun to say it like that. And I fooled them because they freaking throttled my upload bandwidth because they're fascists. And they're trying to shut down the Kyle Plays the Video Game show. And what a blow to the culture that would be. Yeah. So, there you go. Well. And on that note, I guess I'll see you on the next. Probably not, but it's my. I'm working on my little like outro theme thing. Uh, I'm working on a lot of things. I got a ways to go for him. Super internet famous YouTuber, which is never going to happen. I don't want it to. If it did, I would not let it because that's no. And something. What? Yeah. See, this is why everybody watches me, because I'm just constantly saying something. Rarely, if ever, is it anything even, resembling human communication, but that's not the point. I mean, think about it. Just turn on the news. Same thing. I'm like that, but not. Kind of like how Pac-Man is all about slavery and stuff. And on that note, I ruined it. And on that note, but, yes, thank you, PlayStation Network. You're ruining my moment. And on that note, I'll see you on the next, I almost said Angry Joe show. Because I'm shamelessly stealing his little way of saying that. Whatever. I'll see you on the next episode of Kyle Plays the Video Games. Until then, party on, Wayne. Something.